do you also have to diet? And if so, how long does that go? Because I know that especially here in the valley, we have delicious food, and that can be a big sacrifice.
Yes, it is. It's something against, boxers that have to make weight because it is really hard. That's why you really got to be focused, dedicated, and it's how bad you want it, because you want to eat those tacos, man. You're not gonna make weight, and then to cut weight, if you cut weight the wrong way, I mean, it's gonna take a toll on you, and you're gonna pay for it in the ring.
So how many weeks do you give yourself to prepare for that fight?
Normally doesn't really make. Well, he makes it at the end.
For training camp, I actually had 3 to 4 months due to the fact that, well, for my last fight, I had to cut 6 stitches. So my dad told me, take some time off, but it's just not in me. Like I love the gym, I love the sport, so I already wanted to get back and get my body moving, so I can be just ready physically if I can, my body. My cut, but yeah, I had 3-4 months, and I prepared myself really well. And what I did gain a little bit more muscle. I told my dad, Dad, I'm gonna work on a little bit more on arms, and just get a little bit more muscle so I can be stronger. And I think that for this fight, I struggled a little bit on weight, but I was eating clean. My sister's the one that does my diets. She has her own personal classes. She does her own sessions with clients.
She's very athletic as well.
So she cooks all your meals?
Yeah, she actually has a juice bar where she cooks meals. She has a little.
She's a bikini model, and she won in Austin, so she's very, very dedicated.
Okay, awesome.
Maybe we can interview her later.
Yeah, we can.
Honestly,
authentic.
I'll say that she's probably the most dedicated from me and my brother. To be honest, she's really dedicated. So
it's all in the family,
Yeah.
It's family work, and it's been working. And not because I say, you guys can see it on TV. Brandon's doing excellent. After the fight, after Escandon's fight, I think we were coming back, and he told me, Dad, I want to fight again. I'm not ready.
Mm-hmm.
He was sending me. That's good. That's what I wanted to hear from you, because that's what I would do. I wanted first place, and I would go for it. I don't care, and that's what I wanted. I didn't tell him nothing about it. I heard that, and I said, okay, that's what I wanted to hear from you. So okay.
And it was a knockout in the 3rd round, right?
Against Escandon.
This last one?
The last one was in the 3rd round, but against Escandon, he went the distance. And we took him a little bit for granted because he was short and this and that, but that guy was tough. That guy was tough. And the most motivation he would get is he would come out every round saying, voy a ganar por mis hijos. He had his 3 kids in the crowd and his wife, and they would go, papi, dale duro, papi. And he would come out every round saying, voy a ganar por mis hijos. What better motivation? So that's why he lasted, because Brandon's body punches, man, they hurt. And he lasted until the last round. So the good thing about it was Brandon got the workout and he got the knockout. The bad thing is that he got cut. That's a big no-no, because he's young in his career, and that can affect him, through his career.
But he won. That's the most important thing. 18-0. What do you think has been your biggest achievement so far?
Well, definitely this past fight, it was a title eliminator. It puts me up there against, the top contenders, especially being able to fight for the world title already, it's a big achievement on my end. This is the little medal I got after the fight, and just, I guess, a little recognition.
It's not a little medal,
It's a big, very nice medal.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but so, the goal here is to get that world title, the belt, obviously.
This is like a passport. This is like a passport to fight for that world title. Yes.
So that's definitely one of your future goals, to become a world champion.
And Dad, how long would something like that take? Is there few more fights that he's got to, prove himself, or what are we talking like time-wise?
After the fight, we went to the dressing room, and I got a call from Al Heyman, El Mero from Premier Boxing, the top guy. Every boxer in the corner of the world wants to get a call from this guy. So he calls me and says, man, fantastic, fabulous fight by your son. I knew he could do it. Not so early, but man, he looks spectacular. Mr. Figueroa, he kind of reminds me like Barack Obama.
Okay.
He's tall and thin, and he talks kind of like that. And Mr. Figueroa, very well done. You got done a great job, because I wanted to send Brandon to train in California, because the confidence, the friends, and the girls here. But he told me, no, he's doing a great job with you. You keep him with you. send money for training camp, but I want that father and son relation, and I want him to train with me. He's done a great job with him, and I want him to go, okay, so he can stay with me. So he calls me and tells me he did a great job, and he said Brandon's ready for a world title, maybe get him ready in 3 months.
Wow.
So maybe it's gonna happen in 2019.
He also broke the record in the super bantamweights. It's there on YouTube. 200 something punches in one round. I don't know which fight was that. But
15.
the medal from Showtime, he mentioned it on his Instagram, I think, with Brandon. Just broke a record going punches.
It's amazing.
At a super bantamweight weight. So Brandon's up there with the big boys at 22. He can be a world champion.
You have definitely a bright future
Yes,
ahead
sir.
of you.
Yes, sir.
How much of the training is psychological? I'm a psychology professor at STC, and I know the physical part obviously is instrumental, but I know that the mind as well,
Yes, sir.
psychology. Can you tell us more about that? How does your mindset, your psychology, is implemented in your fight?
You know, I think it's a really big part, if anything, the biggest part of going into fights. You know, you can't go in there with personal problems. You can't go in there with stuff in your head that, you know, is gonna bring down your confidence, or just any little problem, you know, that can affect you. And I think that I've probably just worked on it really well since I was small. You know, I've always tend to push things to the side, focus on one thing, and then when that's done, I let that, you know, like I said earlier, you know, I bring it back and I start worrying about it. But I mean, I think it's probably the most important because, I mean, like, if you don't get your good night's sleep, you let your friends, your girlfriend, you know, stuff like, oh, let's go out, or okay, you know, you let yourself be weak-minded and get yourself, you know, manipulated to go out and not train, and stuff like that. And my friends know, and they know that once I get to that training camp, I literally stay in my house for the 4 weeks. I don't go out at all. I tend to just stay away from that atmosphere, and you know, because at the end of the day, who's gonna get in the ring? I am. So I'm the one that's gonna get hurt or could get hurt. So that's why I tend to, you know, be really professional about it and avoid all that.
So there comes a time when you have to do the face-offs and you have to meet your challenger, and the challenger could start talking trash, you know, and that happens. We see that all the time. So what do you do to deal with that, and how much does it affect you?
To be honest, I never got an opponent to talk smack. I'm real calm. I'm not one to, you know, be that gets boiled real quick, that wants to start something. I've never gotten in a street fight. I've never caused problems in school. Like, I've always been that kid in the corner, just does his homework and, you know, just gets by, you know. I never bother anyone.
I was the opposite.
Yeah, good thing I didn't get his blood. So, yeah, you know, I never got into that point. Actually, this past fight, you know, we actually in a face-off, and I look at him, we're facing off, and on my face-offs I either laugh, because to me it's just like, I don't know, I'm just really happy I'm there because I love doing what I do. And for this past opponent, Moises Flores, we were doing the face-off, and he tells me I start smiling, and he tells me, "Estás bien chulo, cabrón." And him and his trainer starts laughing. I actually have the video in my Instagram. But yeah, that was funny. That was pretty funny to me. But other than that, I've never got an opponent to talk smack. And even if it would happen, to me, I wouldn't talk or.
No, they do their talking in the ring. I mean, yeah, it's like when Omar fought Guerrero. You know, Guerrero's father always gets in fights or arguments like that. He almost got in a fight with Lenny Garcia's father, and friends of mine say, "Hey, that guy's gonna jump him," and he does. Well, I'll kick his ass. But no, I saw him in the elevator. Hey, Mr. Guerrero, we shake hands and took a picture. But no. I mean, some people want to do it like, no, do it in the ring. There's gonna be a time for that. So just be cool, and you have your chance.
The actions speak louder than the words.
Exactly.
That's right.
So when you are about to get into the ring, as you're walking, what kind of things come to your mind? What are you thinking of right before the fight?
Just thinking about what combinations I'm gonna hit him with, my game plan. You know, just focusing and really narrowing down on what my strategy is gonna be against this guy. All my hard work that I put in the gym, the videos I saw of him studying him, what my father and my assistant coach Jesse told me to work on, all that I'm trying to imply it in my mind, trying to puzzle everything together, and everything actually came really fast with this past fight. It was 4:16 when they told me, oh yeah, you have to be ready by 5, and I was just in my tights, So we started rapping. The rapping takes about maybe 10 to 15 minutes each. So by the time I was barely putting on my shorts to my boots and everything, it was already 4:45. So for me, it takes me a long time to warm up, for me to get in my rhythm. But they kind of rushed us. But it's all part of the game. It's all part of boxing. You gotta just adapt fast to any circumstance, and I think I did so well. And that's when the first couple of rounds, my older brother, he's really like, I'm really hard on myself, but my older brother, he's kind of like in my mind. He told me you should have got him out there by the first round, and because even after I knocked him out, I wasn't too happy about my performance. I knew I could have done better. I knew there were some things I could have done way better, some other things I could have worked on, but I knocked him out in the third round. And he told me that I could have gotten him out of there in the first round, but since they threw me out there cold, it takes me a while for me to get in my rhythm. But
do you still get nervous?
No,
for your
not
fights?
not necessarily. I mean, just maybe perhaps a little bit, but it's more like I'm just happy to be there.
So Dad's probably more nervous
Yeah,
than.
I get up like that with my hands over here, and the chair sticks with me. I don't know why.
Oh, tanto que lo sudó ya.
No, but my dad has always been the nervous type.
Because I feel responsible because I got him into this, and we went against the tough guys, and boxing is a very, very dangerous sport. So I know, and they're my kids, and man, I got them into this, and now I'm the one that says, okay, I want that opponent, and I can say with a lot of pride, the guy that gets the fights for us, he told me, Mr. Figueroa, you're I think about the only father, trainer, manager that has not refused an opponent for Omar or Brandon. We had said yes to tough, not so tough, mean guys, whatever experience. I said yes. There was only one, Pasinao, the African predator. Man, the guy had like an 8 or 10 pack just like me.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, I got one too. I call it a family pack.
Yeah, so we refused the guy 3 times, and he had 3 other opponents, and they backed out. So at the end, there's no one for Brandon, so I told him, maybe you're not going to fight. So I called Joel Diaz, and he was training in California for that fight. And he says, no, he's a lefty. We didn't train for a lefty. And the guy experienced, man, he's tough. Man, well, Brandon's not going to fight, and Omar's going to fight Robert Guerrero. So I say, I guess Brandon told him, I want to fight. So Joel said, you know what? Brandon had a damn good training camp. Let's throw him out there. And he was a lefty. He didn't train for lefty. And it was a tough fight, but Brandon almost knocked him out, and he won decisively. So that boom, got him up there with the big boys. So that was a chance we took, and he pulled through it, and that was great. We took a big chance, but I knew Brandon. I know these guys are tough, man. They're super tough. I mean, they remind me of myself.
That's awesome. I've heard some great promoters like Dana White who talks about a lot of his most famous athletes like Conor McGregor and people, and those are the types of people who are not afraid to take a fight, and those are the people that make it to the top, and that kind of behavior and characteristic from yourself and your son to just take those fights, even if it's.
And I see these guys, they're super tough. They hit hard. I mean, there's 2 things you gotta be born with: pegada and antes. I mean, you need those.
Yeah.
Those you're born with it. If you're born with those 2 things, and you add skills and conditioning and stamina and hard work, then you're gonna be up there. But honestly, you need that. Sometimes some guys don't hit that hard, but they know how to move, and they work around it, and they still can get it. But Brandon hits hard. He can take a punch. He's got a big heart.
So how do you work on the weaknesses? I'm sure everyone's got their weaknesses, and sometimes we don't want to expose them, especially on social media. But how does one overcome those weaknesses to get better?
For me, I think one of my weaknesses is I think that I like the speed. I could be a little bit faster, a little bit sharper, and I kind of tend to lose my game plan when they hit me, and I just want to hurt them, So I think it just comes with more experience, and because I'm just getting better over time, and with more experience with more fights, and as I get older, I'm getting stronger and getting more mature mentally and physically. So I think for me, it's just a matter of time until my 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 body, my mentality, and my physicality, they both sync up, and I become who I'm finally going to become.
And I know that also in your family, aside from being outstanding professional boxers, you also give back to the community. I know your dad does, your older brother, you, everybody. Whether it's donating things or going to the schools to talk to the children. Can you tell us more about that? I know you had toy drives, right? Different things like that. How important is it to give back to your community?
I think it's really beautiful, to give back to the kids. And my grandpa started a tradition in Mexico because he has a store over there. And that's where my dad and my mom and my mom's family, my dad and mom's family both, they lived over there. And my grandpa started this tradition, toy drive, to give away. It was just candy bags with nutcrackers, candy, and oranges, to the poor, because it was a really poor families live in that street. So I guess after a while, our family got involved in it, and my brother started, taking over. And for this toy drive that I had December 20th, my dad was actually the one, in charge of that one. He told me, Brandon, because I was busy training for my fight, so I wasn't really thinking about it. And my dad told me, what, Brandon, let's do this for the kids and let's do that. My dad was really the backbone of the toy drive. So my dad, got the money. He went to go buy all these gifts, bikes, and at the day of the event, it just feels really nice to get back to a community that you live in, and especially knowing that you came from that too, because when we lived in our house, we didn't have a lot of nice things. We would go out to eat at Burger King. We would share our meals. We never had our own burger. But it just feels really nice, to finally get back. And I just love interacting with kids. My dad tells me, "Oh, I already want you to have kids," but I'm like, "Nah, I'm not ready." And my older brother is the one that has kids, and I love them. That I treat them like they're my own. But definitely just me interacting with kids, me talking to kids, I just feel like I'm naturally born to just relate to the kids and just be this figure for kids that they can look up to. So I'm really proud of that.
So this question's for Dad. You mentioned you wanted to have kids. Is that something for that you want for him at a young age, or what do you think about that? As far as his career's going right now, and
Well, he can have him. He can stay focused, and I'll take care of him. I do it with my other grandson. He's in the gym with me. He's already. I have him here posing and doing the rope, and he's only 3. He'll be 4 tomorrow. So he's always with me, and he spends the night with me. And Brandon, he really likes Brandon, and I love to be with him.
so you think that'll help him more focus on his
Yeah,
game plan, or
I think so, because he's already focused and he loves kids, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be good for him.
Yeah.
But now I just tell him, but there'll be a time for that.
Your first baby will be the championship, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's your first baby.
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, I know your dad is a role model, your older brother. When it comes to professional boxers, who are some of your role models?
Well, to be honest, I've probably never had one. I'd never really watched boxing.
Sugar Shane Mosley, when you were young, I remember he made a book in school, and he put he wanted to be a boxer. And he put Shane Mosley. That book's gonna be somewhere. We could
I
never
still
find it.
haven't.
Okay, you need that book because he writes a little monitos with gloves and Sugar Shane Mosley, and I'm gonna be a boxer for my dad, because some of the boxers leave because they can't take the training, or I'm too hard on them. And he put that I'm gonna train with my dad, and so you were what, like 9, 8, around there?
Wow. Amazing.
In your future, what else do you see for yourself aside from being a world champion and having this outstanding career in boxing? Is there other stuff you would want to do?
For sure, I just want to, be a big impact in my community as much as I can. Help the kids, inspire them, be a role model in and outside of the ring. Help just be a good example, just be a good person. At the end of the day, that's what my father and my mom taught me, and that's just what I want to be. Just good person.
Awesome.
Now, what advice would both of you give to viewers who perhaps would be interested in becoming boxers?
If they want to take boxing seriously, I mean, they got to do things right, especially the parents, taking the kids to the gym or running or, advise them. If they want to pursue the sport, I mean, they got to do things right if they want to get, to be world champions, Like me, myself, I can talk for myself. I wanted to make world champions, and I started with my kids. And I always said, I mean, why always world champions from America? Why not from here? And I think I did it. I mean, I'm not bragging about it, but I feel so damn proud of all the hard work that we put into it. And seeing, the best, one of the best feelings is like when Omar started fighting national TV, when you hear that word from Westlake, Texas, I still get chills. And when we come back, people say, man, that was great. Because when they talk about Westlake somewhere in Minnesota, Michigan, hey, is that where that world champion? Yeah, it's right there. Westlake. Well, now I got Brandon on his way, and I mean, not only just a world champion. I mean, to me, not because he's my son, but I think he's one of the most handsome boxers in boxing right now, and that's gonna help him to do some other things, going to modeling, model boxers or trunks or clothes. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. Al Heyman has a lot of pull and all these
De veras que
things.
sí está chulo.
You go Boss or American Eagle, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Gatorade, Coke. I mean, whatever. But that's my goal. That's me seeing my son doing commercials. Something else,
Where's how can the viewers get a hold of you and the gym, and if they want to contract you to hire them, so they can come in and train with you?
They can, my Facebook, Omar Figueroa Senior, on there. They can message me there, or Pantera Boxing Gym in Roswell.
There you guys have it.
Yeah, I mean, what they can, I mean, now as I'm really reserved. I don't like to really share, but my sister, she has like 9,000 followers. She's telling me, yeah, you should post more. You should get more involved with your fans. So now I'm trying to be a little bit more on social media. So I'm trying to post more and relate to my fans. So
I was gonna actually ask you about that. How important is social media?
Very, very important.
yeah, I think now
To get your name known, it
Yeah.
helps a lot with that.
Yeah, I think especially now, social media, 21st century technology, kids now, that's their gateway to, for free time or to look at videos or, just for anything. So, yeah, I mean, they can follow me at Brandon Figueroa 101 and Brandon Lee Fig on Twitter or Brandon Lee Figueroa on Facebook. That's the social media outlets that they can follow.
Awesome. Are you a fan of the Astros? I met you at a game actually
Yeah.
a few months ago.
That guy's a big fan of
Yeah.
the
Oh, was he?
Astros.
Who was there? Right?
I just went because he wanted to go. But no, I'm not. The only sport I love is boxing.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you for your time, for coming out here. We're really proud of you and what you've accomplished, and you're a great example for a lot of the up and coming fighters who want to pursue a career like this. And I know Dad plays a big role here, and we appreciate you and thank you for coming out.
Thank you
We
guys
know that
for-
the next time you're here,
Yes.
you're going to be a world champion.
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's our goal. That's his goal, and that's why he trains so hard. Because, and you always gotta stay hungry. Even though you win that belt, you should stay hungry. Because boxing is a sport where if you don't train well or do things well, you're gonna get hurt. So, I mean, like you said, parents, take your kids to school, guide them, whatever sport, support them. They need that support because, or else they're gonna do something else that you're not gonna like. And it takes a lot of support from the parents. I mean, getting after them, taking them to the gym, or taking them to the baseball game, or the baseball practice, or basketball practice, track, whatever. But it takes a big role from the parents, to guide them and
Be
pursue a
involved
sport.
in the,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Well, it was an honor to have you both. Thank you very much, and we'll see each other at our next show. Thank
See
you.
you guys. Thank you.